Hello. I hope you're all doing well. And if not, I at least hope that your night improves. So, tonight I decided we need some more lightheartedness again. Because I feel like it kind of goes in line with like the readings, most of the readings in fact, from last stream, that we might be taking things a little bit too seriously. And we don't need to always be doing that, so. Lighthearted fun times. So tonight we'll be using the Cat Meme Tarot, the Work Your Light Oracle, and the Eventide Affirmations deck. So I feel like those will go quite well together. Though, part of me is debating on if I want to go ultra cute and get the Thera-pets. Alright, what do you think? Do we go ultra cute? Do we get the Thera-pets? Replace the Eventide Affirmations deck? Okay. It's been a while since we've used that one too. Okay, we'll go ultra cute. And we'll go ultra cute. Ugh. Sorry if the mic picked that up. I'm like really sniffly. I did just wake up a bit ago, so I'm sorry if I'm like really sniffly. That kind of happens when I wake up sometimes. So, yeah. Okay. There we go. We have the Thera-pets deck out now. So, we'll be using that one instead of the Eventide Affirmations. I should probably go change that really quick. Well, let me go do that. Yep. There we go. Man's updated now. Okay, anyway. I guess let's go ahead and get into the collectives. I forgot the last time that we used the Cat Meme Tarot was when I was like doing the tarot birth cards stuff, and this is the deck that I used to kind of like show the cards. So I had to shuffle the deck, and as I was shuffling the deck, I got the Sun and the World card to pop out, which was like, I wasn't even like shuffling for like a reading, but I know that was just kind of That was just like an extra little like message there from Mr. Sass. Just kinda, you know, saying everything will be alright. So, yeah. It was really cute. Okay. What message do we need to hear today? Oh, there's one. Oh, there's two. That one just kind of like floated up a little bit into my face. I know you got another one. Are you only gonna give us two? Okay, let me... Maybe there's only gonna give us two right now. Okay, no, there's another one. There's another one. Thank you. Okay. Wrist. Right. Right wrist. Right. Right wrist. Okay. Okay. So, we have the Strength card, the Chariot, and Judgment. So, now, these did all kind of pop out. These did pop out. In reverse, but I always give a chance for the cards to reorient themselves, and also sometimes they flip in the opposite direction, which kind of tells me there's a bit of both energies, which is particularly why I do that, by the way. Just to get a closer look at things. So, these did all pop out in reverse, and then they flipped upright. So, tells me that the energy of both of these, of both directions here, is just kind of being called on here. So, you're probably not where you want to be currently. You're feeling like your work isn't really amounting to much. You're being hard on yourself because you feel like you're not being productive enough, you're not taking enough action. And very often you probably feel like giving up, and you feel like it's going to lead nowhere. But here's the thing. You're very close here. You're very close to completing this cycle, completing this chapter, and moving on to this new cycle, this new rebirth, okay? You're still in the process of this. Remember not to rush things. And to the best of your abilities, remain strong. Keep holding on. And try to be patient with yourself, okay? You're still making progress. There's still movement, even if you feel like you're not making any. Just because you can't see it yet doesn't mean that it's not there. When we're often making progress on things, we're often the ones who don't see it, who can't see it. However, those around us usually see that a little bit easier than we do. So, even if you can't see it yet, just trust that it's there, that you're still making progress, okay? You're still making progress. And let's see what the Oracle deck wants to add to this. Well. Ooh. Okay. Okay. We have Emrama, Priestess, and Protection. Okay, Emrama. Where are you being called to journey to? The Celtic word Imrama means a journey of the soul. A voyage on which we don't know where we are going, but our soul knows the way. If you pull this card, you are either being called on a soul journey, or are already on one. It could be to a physical ancient place, or metaphoric. When we journey to places that our soul remembers, a shift takes place, both within us and to the planet as well. You are being called to journey to a place that is sacred to your soul. Perhaps it is to journey to the world's sacred sites, or called to cross the country, climb a mountain, lie on the desert floor, or drink from an ancient well. There are places to see and old friends to meet. I see spontaneous pilgrimages in your future. If a physical voyage isn't possible, journey through the portal of your heart. Follow the invisible soul trail and be willing to explore. Maybe read a book or watch a movie about a sacred time or place. Or perhaps you are being called to study an ancient lineage or body of work. Whatever your circumstances, your soul is ready to journey deep. So, follow your heart. Where are you being led? What are you being called to? And also, don't worry about where this journey leads, okay? Don't worry about where this journey that you're currently on, this path that you're currently on, don't worry about where it leads, okay? Don't worry about where it leads. And then we have Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? The priestess is a teacher dedicated to service, freedom, and leadership. You don't need to have it all together to lead. In fact, it helps if you don't. No one wants a perfect angel who hasn't made any mistakes. Let your life be your message. Don't underestimate the power of sharing your story. It's by hearing someone else's journey that we feel less alone. We realize that we're actually all in this thing called life together. The difference between a follower and a leader is that a leader has the courage to go first. In stepping out, they shine a light on the path for others to venture forward too. Don't fret too much about trying to work out who is your tribe. Don't get stuck in age, income, hobbies, or occupation. The best way to discover your tribe is to look in the mirror. If you feel called to lead, chances are it is because at some point in your life you longed for someone to lead you. Your tribe are longing for exactly the same thing as you were, and are, and might only be one step behind you. Hell, they may even be right alongside you. You don't need anyone's permission, just the courage to stand up. Embrace your struggles, the peaks, the troughs. You don't need to know the way, just believe that there might be a different one. Your tribe is waiting for you. Step forward so they can find you. So, that's very much going in line with what I said about the last one. Don't worry about where the journey leads. Don't worry about where the end goal is, okay? Just keep following the path, keep following your heart, keep listening to those inner calls you're feeling, okay? And also, as this card says, it's okay if you make mistakes, okay? Those mistakes are experience. The perfect person does not make a good leader. You want the people who have actually been through some shit, who have made mistakes and have learned from them, because they can pass on those messages and those lessons to you. Okay? So don't worry about perfection. Perfection doesn't exist. Just keep getting up, keep moving forward. Okay? And protection. Call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. You're being called to protect your energy and call back your power. May all the lost pieces return home now. Take a look at who and what drains your energy. Do not keep your tabs open. Shut down energetically each night. Energetic cords are formed between people, places, objects, and events, so it's important to keep checking in. Your energy and energetic space are sacred, so treat them as such. Keeping your energy clear takes work. As we go through life, we can give away our power, so it is important that we call it back by cutting energetic cords, or doing a form of healing known as soul retrieval. Can you think of a traumatic event, relationship, or soul memory that you're being called to call back your power from? Check into your body now and see which energy center feels like it needs a bit of an energetic cleanup. So, make sure you're not holding on to these past events for longer than you need to, okay? Because that's exactly how you allow them to take... That's how these energetic cords are formed, okay? You hold on to this energy that isn't yours, that isn't relevant anymore, that doesn't belong to you, and that weighs you down, okay? Don't hold on to these past mistakes, to these past events, to these past things for longer than is necessary, okay? Let go of them. And also, trust that you'll be protected along this path, okay? Trust that you'll be protected along this path. Hello, Bree. Hello, Kels. I hope you're both doing well. And yeah, that is quite a part of the reading to come in on, yeah. It was the very end of this collective, this first collective here. It's definitely, definitely very relevant to things that have been, like, happening with me. I thought I muted you, phone. What are you doing? Whatever. But anyway, it's been very relevant to, like, things that I've been dealing with lately. It's kind of it's kind of just like a condensed version of essentially like things that Mr. Sass has been telling me lately. And it's very sweet. You know, like the so one of the readings and the message that I got last night was like super fucking adorable. And he was just being a goof, but he was also being a sweetheart at the same time. Just the fact that he pointed out like the Six of Swords and the boat and the ferryman on the boat and said that's me was absolutely fucking adorable. And it wasn't until a bit later in that night that I realized too why he specifically pointed out that card and that boat and the boatman, the ferryman. Because so there is a period in his life where he was known as a protector of Ra. He stood at the helm of his solar bark, which is a boat, and kind of ferried him around. And according to the mythology, the way that it's written in the mythology, he's kind of partly responsible for protecting Ra during his journey across the sky. So each night as the sun set, he would ferry Ra across the sky safely and protect him from, in Greek, it's known as Apophis. Its name is originally Apep, though. Which is the chaos serpent that Set supposedly defeated every night in protection of Ra, so that the sun could be reborn again. And then, so he fucking points out that card and the Six of Swords, points out the boat and the ferryman and says, that's me. And then the oracle card I get is Dawning. Dawning. Sir. What the fuck? It's like, now you're just showing off. Why are you such an adorable little shit? But essentially, like, he pointed out the Six of Swords and said, like, that's me. Essentially saying that he's leading me to safety. He's leading me away from these things and helping me move on. And yeah. He's just such a fucking sweetheart. He really is. He's intense, yes, and probably not gonna be the best fit for everyone. He's very intense. But he's a sweetheart. Okay. And now we got the Thera-pets cards to pull really quick. What would you like, Dad? Ooh. Okay. Okay. This is very much going in line with this. Okay. Fuck. I'm going in line with that strength card there. Life will always bend you, but trust me, you are too strong to break. Your struggle is not an indication of failure. And everything is scary and you feel vulnerable, but that doesn't mean anything is going to go wrong. Anxious feelings aren't usually indicative of reality. How fucking fitting. How fucking fitting. But anyway, I hope that message helped. I know it's certainly a nice reminder to start off with for me. Yeah. He just really wants to make sure that message is getting across. And also the call out about, like, the vulnerability again. Just like, man. But yeah. Thank you, phone. Phone has words apparently too. But yeah, so it's indeed quite a reading to start off with, I'm so sniffly. Fucking... I don't know why my body does this. It's always like... for like an hour or so after I wake up, my body's just like... You're just gonna be like super sniffly for like no reason. Because just fuck you. I'm sorry, Bree. Weird. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. Probably just, I don't know. Maybe allergies, like mild allergies, or just, I don't know, bodies just being weird, because bodies are kind of weird sometimes, man. They're just weird. The human body is just weird. Interesting. Yeah, I think I've heard about that before, yeah. That name sounds familiar. Yeah. It's just like, thanks, body. Why you gotta be weird? Human bodies are just fucking weird sometimes, okay? Human bodies are just fucking weird. Okay. So, that was the first collective. Let's go ahead and get on to the second one. We'll do one more. What message do those who might be watching need to hear today? Aww. And speaking of Mr. Sass, number 8 there is the one that he just... Yeah. That one's actually, number 8 there is actually a message, like, directly from him. That's something that he's told me on a few occasions. I made that number 8 because 8 is the number of infinity and the number of spirit. So, that one's directly a message from him. That's something that he's told me directly on a few occasions. Upright and reversed. Upright and reversed. Upright and reversed. Upright and reversed. Oh yeah. It's just like, no, I want to be sideways. Okay, we have the Lovers. The Magician. And the Emperor. So, essentially, I get the sense that this is about, particularly connection. The Lovers is the card of relationships of all kinds and of significant connections. So, the Lovers here I get is kind of representative here in this context of just connection in general. And once again, these two popped out in reverse, but when I asked them what direction they wanted to be in, they popped back up in the upright position. This one popped out upright, then started flipping, started turning sideways when I asked it what direction it wanted to be in. So that one also, I think is kind of saying there's a bit of that energy of the reverse in there as well. Which is why I do that, by the way. Even if they flip out in like a definite direction, I do give them a chance to I still ask them what direction they want to be in, because sometimes both sides of that energy can kind of be like relevant here. And this is just kind of a way for them to make that known. So, both of these definitely have like the reverse energy being called on pretty heavily here, and this one has a little bit of that as well. So the lovers here, like I said, I get the sense is about connection, just connection in general. And I think this is something that you're kind of like being really hard on yourself about. I know that's something that I'm certainly being hard on myself about. Just in many, many aspects. I get really hard on myself and worry too much about, like, the future for, you know, like, my ex and I get too in my head about that. And then I get really hard on myself. Exactly, Brie. That's what I was about to say. I also get really hard on myself because I oftentimes feel like I can't connect with people in the way that I want to. I've always struggled to make friends. Always. I've had very, very few friends throughout my life, and a lot of those friends don't stick around for very long. Like, the two, like, closest friends that I have in my life currently, include Adam and another very, very close friend of mine. I've known them for both about the same amount of time. I've known them both for about 13 or 14 years. So nearly half of my life. So, sometimes I let those feelings get the better of me, and I start feeling really depressed by that. Because most people in my life are temporary. Most people in my life are temporary. And due to that, and my childhood in general, which that one I won't get into because there's a lot of darker shit in that I just don't want to get into, and potentially make people uncomfortable with. But my childhood, in combination with that, I've always been very, very, it's led to me having a fear of abandonment. So, yeah. And that leads to issues with being vulnerable and actually making connection with people. So, if you're being really hard on yourself about not being able to connect with people in the way that you want, if you're being hard on yourself because you're not connecting with people in the ways that you want, or you feel like you can't connect with people, you feel like you're alone, and this is something that you're trying to work on. Remember not to be so hard on yourself here, okay? Even if you don't see it yet, even if you feel hopeless about that, the magician is here to remind you that you do have what it takes to create these changes for yourself, okay? You do. So don't get too in your head about that. Don't get too caught up in that. And start doubting your abilities and that this is something that will ever happen for you. Okay? You do have what it takes. The Emperor is also here to remind you of that as well, and that if you felt like this is something that that's out of your control, something that's unattainable, just know that it is attainable, okay? And you will someday find this connection that you seek, okay? You're not cursed. And also, specifically something that I get really in my head about too is I always worry that I'm too much for people. I worry that I'm too much for people, that I'm too intense or annoying. And that is sometimes the case. That is sometimes the case, legitimately. And I know it is. Not everyone can handle that sort of energy, and that's okay. And they're just not the right fit. So, just because that may be the case sometimes doesn't always mean that that's always going to be the case, okay? So don't go into something expecting it to fail just because you expect it to end up the same way, okay? There are some people who will be able to handle that sort of energy. And just because there are people who perhaps can't and that don't really click with that energy, does that mean that you should dial it back, shut up, dim. Hell no. Hell no. Be yourself. If people don't like you, that's on them. If people can't handle you, yeah, that's on them too. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, you should be overbearing, that you should purposely make people feel uncomfortable. No. But don't withdraw into yourself just because some people don't vibe with how you are, okay? Hold yourself accountable when you make mistakes, okay? But just because someone doesn't vibe with you, vibe with your energy, and just because someone can't handle the way that you are, the level of intensity that you have, whether that be, some people don't like super positive people. Just to kind of like explain this, some people don't like super positive people, okay? Because it makes them uncomfortable. Or it's just draining to them. Some people don't like people who are, you know, like super reserved. And who are sometimes very blunt about things. Some people don't like people who are very, very passionate about things. There are certain varying levels of intensity in various contexts that some people just don't like, that some people just can't handle. That doesn't mean that you should change those things about yourself, okay? Continue being positive. Continue being passionate. And if you're more reserved and blunt, be that too. There will be someone who will appreciate those things about you, okay? Yeah. Some people don't always like that, particularly with like super, super like intense passion. Some people just don't really vibe with that because it's just too much. Sometimes, also for people who like feel things super intensely and just people who feel things super intensely and who get really passionate about things, some people like to call them dramatic. Like, overly dramatic. And it's just like, hey, maybe go fuck yourself. I know that's certainly something that I've been called a few times in my life. I've definitely been called dramatic. Overly dramatic. Sensitive. and when I can be really, really blunt about things. I've also been called a bitch. That's usually when it's something someone doesn't want to hear, though. So. Yeah. Now, with bluntness, obviously there needs to be a certain level of tact with things. Don't be, like, completely tactless. But, in certain contexts, I'm not always blunt. I'm usually always honest. Well, not usually always. I'm always honest. But in some cases, in some contexts, I can also be very blunt. But that's usually with people who are close to me, though. Or who I have a certain level of trust with. Has that stopped them from calling me a bitch? No. I've been called a bitch a few times. But hey. You asked for honesty, so... Anyway, let's see what the Oracle deck once did. Yeah? That was in the context of, people that I'm close enough to, people that there's a certain level of trust with, who have just come to me asking for, like, honesty, and sometimes in those moments I can be very blunt, because it was something that they didn't want to hear. But if you come to me asking for an honest opinion, like, I'm not going to be completely tactless about it, obviously. But if you come to me asking for an opinion about something, and I'm close enough to you, I'm going to give you honesty. Sorry. So, we have Star Mother here, and Warrior Woman. Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? You are more held than you could possibly imagine. Loved and cherished so dearly that if you knew you would not spend 1 second of your life in separation, worry, or fear. Let the mother carry your burdens. Let her rock away your fears. Lay all of your worries, regrets, shame, and guilt on her altar. Please, please, sweet child, do not fear. You are love in motion. If you allow it, you are already healed. Let her remind you of your goodness. Let her love away your fears. Your capacity to love and hold others is limited to your capacity to love and hold yourself. Be compassionate with your sweet body, mind, and soul. Treat yourself like the beautiful spirit that you truly are. Remind yourself that you are doing your best and try not to carry it all on your own. You have got this and the mother has got you. Let her broad arms take away your burdens. Let her lift the weight of the world off your shoulders. Forgive yourself, my dear sweet child of the earth. How fitting. Also, as a reminder, this card is only called Star Mother because mothers are kind of frequently the most nurturing parent. However, a nurturer does not necessarily need to be a mother. Men can also be very nurturing too. So, if rather than a star mother, you feel more called to a star father, let them nurture you. Let them help you carry your burdens. Okay? And know that no matter what, you are loved. And until you find this level of connection that you want with people, don't forget to give that to yourself, okay? The love that you give to others, the love that you wish others would give you, don't forget to give that to yourself. If you have no one else to give it to you, give it to yourself, okay? And let anyone who is caring and nurturing in your life give that to you as well, okay? And then we have Warrior Woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? You are here for a reason. You are being called to bravely pave a path. Have you answered your highest and deepest calling? Living a heart and soul-led life is not all fluffy and smooth sailing. Living a heart and soul-led life requires courage to triumph over fear. So often our fears are the greatest gatekeepers to our greatest gifts. And the more resistance we have toward answering a call, the more important it is to our soul's growth. Sometimes fear is an indication that we are going the right way. Joan of Arc was known for her courage and her famous line, "I am not afraid. I was born to do this." But the thing about courage is that it is not possible without fear. So if you are feeling afraid, what is needed is courage. And courage comes from living from the heart. Think of your fears as opportunities to expand rather than things that are holding you hostage. If you look at your fears in this light, then as uncomfortable as it may feel, it's actually a sign that you were on the right track. So, if you're encountering these fears, it sounds like it's likely because you're going in the right direction. Like, I like to think of it this way. In a video game, the closer you get to a boss, the more enemies you face. Maybe apply that same logic to, fears. As you're walking down this path of healing and you start encountering more fears, it's not necessarily that, as much as it may seem otherwise, you're not doing enough. More so, as you're digging deeper and you're progressing through this, you're probably going to start uncovering more of them. Which means you're going in the right direction, okay? So keep going. Keep going. And let's see what the Thera-pets deck wants to add. Wait. Oh. My goodness. Okay. Aw. Okay, we had a lot of them pop out. My goodness. Okay. You are strong enough. Whatever happens today, you will make it through. Those are very much going together. Let's just deal with today. You can deal with tomorrow. Take things one step at a time. With every challenge you meet, you gain experience. Every day you're leveling up. That's funny considering I just fucking mentioned video games. You cheeky little shits. There's no rule that says you have to have everything figured out right now. Every step forward is progress. Exactly. Progress is progress. It doesn't matter how small it is, okay? Progress is progress. No one else knows what they're doing either. It's all going to turn out fine. It's okay if things don't make sense right now, okay? Healing is hard. Healing is not an easy journey. You're probably going to encounter a lot of difficulty along this path of healing, okay? That doesn't mean you're doing things wrong. It also may feel like you have no idea what you're doing, any idea where you're going here, okay? And that's okay. That also doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. Okay? And I know that this is something too that's like popped up for me a lot lately, that Mr. Sass has told me a lot. Which I think is also why he delivered that message last night about like him pointing out the Six of Swords and the ferryman on the Six of Swords and saying that's him, saying that he was leading me to safety, leading me to better things. You're not doing this alone, even if it feels like you are, okay? If you need to ask Spirit for help, that's okay. They're likely already helping you anyway, even if you don't see it. And regardless, they're there to protect you along this path. Okay? So. Even if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, where you're supposed to be going, they do. They won't let you get lost, okay? So, I hope that message helps. And with that, let me go ahead and open the queue. Okay, queue's open. Ooh. Darn hiccups. Okay. Are you ready, Adam? Okay. What message does Adam need to hear today? Oh boy. You got an extra card. Oh boy. No. Yeah. I saw this first card because it flipped up. It flipped over in my lap. We got the strength card. Then the next one that popped out was the Fool reversed. And it stayed reversed when I asked it. And then we got the Star and the Magician. This is funny because it's kind of a combination of both that first collective and the second collective. So, you're being hard on yourself again, because you're not quite where you want to be. Particularly with this healing journey, okay? You're not quite where you want to be with this healing journey, and you may feel like you're not making any progress, and like it's not leading anywhere. And you might feel like giving up sometimes. Because what's the point? What's the point? However, you gotta keep pushing through this, okay? You're probably feeling like you don't have what it takes to see this through. But you do, and the magician is here to remind you of that, okay? You have the tools, the ability to continue down this path and to create the outcome that you want here, to get to that outcome that you want here, okay? Don't get too caught up in these delays that you're facing. Don't get too caught up in this feeling of it not leading anywhere. Don't get too caught up in this feeling of like not being where you want to be, okay? You will get there. You just need to keep holding on and keep pushing through. Like I said just a few minutes ago, a healing journey is not easy, okay? It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of work, and it's gonna be really hard sometimes. And you're probably going to encounter a lot of just nasty shit, okay? That doesn't mean that you're going in the wrong direction, that means you're going in the right direction, okay? Okay? Let's see what the Oracle deck wants to add. Oh, bull. Mm-hmm. Well. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking, keep going, keep facing your true north. Protection. Call back your power. Cut the cords. Soul retrieval. Soul family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. Ooh, what did I just say? Do not question things so much. You're on the right track. You are facing the right way. Stop overthinking it. It's happening, and you are closer than you think. You are exactly where you need to be, and things are moving at the perfect speed. Do not rush it. Now is not the time to be impatient. Now is the time to walk steady. There is no rush. What you are building is being built. What you have planted soon will blossom. With every new day, a new brick is being laid. You have come a long way. The foundations are steady. Now all that is needed is for you to trust and keep walking forward. If a thought that things should be moving faster enters your head, that is just your ego comparing your rising to someone else. Comparison is not your friend. Stay in your lane, water your own garden, knowing that your time to bloom will come soon. Well, if you wanted more confirmation of that, there you go. Protection. Call back your power. Cut the cords. Soul retrieval. You are being called to protect your energy and call back your power. May all the lost pieces return home now. Take a look at who and what drains your energy. Do not keep your tabs open. Shut down energetically each night. Energetic cords are formed between people, places, objects, and events, so it's important to keep checking in. Your energy and energetic space are sacred, so treat them as such. Keeping your energy clear takes work. As we go through life, we can give away our power, so it is important that we call it back by cutting energetic cords or doing a form of healing known as soul retrieval. Can you think of a traumatic event, relationship, or soul memory that you're being called to call back your power from? Check into your body now and see which energy center feels like it needs a bit of an energetic cleanup. So, I feel like that one's kind of going in line with, like, one of the messages you got, like, it may have been last time, or, like, the stream before. One of the cards you got from the Illuminator's Amulet, that's the name. One of the cards you got was Go Deeper. I feel like this is kind of going in line with that for you. To continue pushing a little bit deeper and seeing if there are any more memories that you can think of that you need to be letting go of. Okay? And then we have Soul Family. Call in your tribe, you don't have to do it alone. It's time to call in your soul family and support team. People who get you at soul level. People who are the same kind of weird as you. People who are your chosen family. They are coming and they are looking for you. If you haven't found them yet, this is a sign that they are close by, but in order for them to find you and recognize you when they do, it is important that you stop dimming your light and truly let yourself be seen. If you have already found them, then you are being called to let them support you, and perhaps also assemble a wider support team. Your support team can consist of all types of people, such as a therapist, coach, mentor, or healer. Tune into what kind of support you need now. So, again, it's okay if you need help. Ask for help when you need it. Your soul family includes your spirit team here, okay? Call them in for help. Okay? Ask them directly to help you. They're likely already helping you. And it's not something that you can, see. And something you might not have noticed yet, but they're probably still helping you, whether you ask them to or not. So, just know that they probably already are there helping you. But if there's anything specific you need from them, ask for it. If there's a specific way in which they could be supporting you, ask for it. Oh. Oh goodness. Okay, we got 5 cards from Thera-pets Oracle for you, okay? Everything is scary and you feel vulnerable, but that doesn't mean anything is going to happen, or is going to go wrong. Anxious feelings aren't usually indicative of reality. Depression lies. There is no circumstance that is unchangeable. There is no situation that is ever hopeless. You've survived every day of your life so far. You really think today will be the one that defeats you? Today is a brand new day and you are a brand new you. Good luck. And to really hit it home, stop calling yourself garbage. You are a blueberry fairy princess. You are amazing. So I hope that message helps. Okay. I'll take a drink really quick. Okay. Are you ready, Bree? Okay. What message does Bree need to hear today? Okay, there we go. Oh boy. Oh no. Better reversed. Wait, reversed. Okay. I put it reversed. Put it reversed. Okay. 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 We have strength. This one really wants to come out tonight. The High Priestess. And the Hermit reversed. Okay? So. So, you might... I feel like this is kind of going in line with the collective a bit earlier. You might be feeling a bit isolated. And you might be letting this feeling get the better of you. Now this may have been a feeling in the past that you're that you've worked through, but I get the sense that it is still somewhat present. Yeah, given that the strength card is still here. So don't let this feeling of isolation get the better of you, okay? Don't let this feeling of isolation get the better of you. Even if you sometimes feel not necessarily like a feeling of giving up, but sometimes you might kind of wonder what the point is. And why this is still something that you're pursuing. But you need to keep holding on here. Particularly keep trusting, okay? Keep trusting. Keep trusting yourself. First... Oh, there's an ad break. I'll pause just in case. I think ad break should be over. So, essentially, trust yourself first and foremost. Believe in yourself, okay? That's one of the key things that the High Priestess means to me. It's trusting. Trusting in yourself, believing in yourself. Obviously it's about knowledge too. Like inner knowing and such. So, trust yourself, like first and foremost, trust in yourself and believe in yourself. But also, just trust that you will get to where you need to be, okay? Get to where you want to be, rather, okay? You'll get to where you want to be. And trust that you'll be supported in this process, okay? And going in line with that, you also know what you need most here, okay? So, don't forget to give that to yourself. Let's see what the Oracle deck wants to add here. Okay. Now, the ever-unfolding rose and Pleiades. The ever-unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. The challenge of life is to keep your heart open when you most want to close it. To let life crack you open. To open through hurt and loss. To allow what is falling away to fall away. Being human is a courageous act. A life well lived is full of losses and tragedies, as much as triumphs and adventures. Wherever you find yourself at the moment, life is coaxing you to keep your heart open no matter how much it hurts. To continually unfold. To let life crack you open. Perhaps you are going through a difficult time right now. Instead of cursing the difficulty, see it as a blessing. To open yourself up to the truth that perhaps as hard as it may be, life is happening for you, not to you. And one day, in the not too distant future, you may just bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open. Because the world needs you open. Now is the time to go gently. To treat yourself like a tender, sweet baby. To wrap yourself in a blanket and trust that the mother has you cradled in her arms. The seas may not all be smooth sailing, but you are safe and you are held. One day, not too far from today, you will look back at the transformation and be blown away by the poetry of life. Everything is going to be okay. That one's really sweet. And Pleiades. Double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. The Pleiadians are a group of star beings dedicated to raising the vibration of the planet and sharing new consciousness through creations and technology. They've been incarnating on Earth since near the beginning of humanity. You are a soul who has a double mission, to grow at soul level and to raise the vibration of the planet. If you have been called to write, speak, or channel, this is your sign to keep doing it. Yup, there you go. Your work is divinely guided. Of all the souls, Pleiadians are the chattiest, so perhaps you have already started channeling some of this work into the third dimension. Thank you for doing your part in the great plan. Your presence and unique light is needed. And this is indeed what one of your goals was. Uplifting. So, keep going with that. Okay? Keep going with that. Yeah. Oof. Ooh. It's the Thera-pets deck got for you. Ooh. Okay, that was... Okay. Exactly. And you're also making you're also creating things that are meant to be uplifting as well. So. Oh, goodness. There we go. I knew there was another one. There it is. Hello! So, we have... You're doing fine. Don't give up. It's okay to struggle. You are doing better than you feel like you are. There's no need to be so hard on yourself. You're managing as best as you can. So, there you go. There you go. Exactly. The funny thing is, too, I was gonna put this card first. I put this one first. Because I was just like, no, I'll put this one second. And right, for me, right as you said, I know they're not great quality yet, but I will get better. I was reading this one right as that one came through for me. As that message came through on my end. So, I hope that message helps. Good. Okay. Ooh, my stomach is growling. Okay. Oop. I guess I'll go ahead and issue a last call. Because I have been going pretty close to like 3 hours lately. Well, actually, it's usually over 3 hours lately. So, I guess I'll go ahead and issue a last call. I know I don't always have to be pushing myself that hard, and I know that's something that Mr. Sass also told me last night as well, is, it's okay to take things slow. So. I'll go ahead and issue a last call for the queue here, so if you want to join, queue is still open, and I'll leave it open for a few more minutes here. Goodness. Okay. Okay. What message does Kelsey need to hear today? Oh, oh goodness. Okay. Upright or reversed. Upright or reversed. Okay. Upright or reversed. Oh goodness. Upright or reversed. Or reversed. Okay. Well. um. We have Temperance reversed. The Magician reversed. These did not budge. These all popped out reversed. The only one that actually flipped was the last one. We have Temperance reversed, the Magician reversed, the Tower reversed, and Justice reversed. Or Justice upright, but it did pop out reversed. It did flip upright though, which tells me that there is some of that reversal energy still present here. Which I do believe is going in line with the Tower. So there was this situation in the past. Is a vibe that I get. It's usually what the Tower reversed says to me. Tower reversed is dealing with some situation in the past that left you feeling very uncertain. There's a lot of uncertainty. The situation left you with a lot of uncertainty. It left you feeling potentially even a bit defeated. Is it also like a sense that I get? It left you feeling very... There is a lot of instability. It left your life with a lot of instability, okay? It caused you to start doubting yourself. To stop believing in yourself. To stop believing in your abilities. Here. With the Magician. In the situation, just overall, yeah. It doesn't necessarily have to be tied to one situation, but could be more so about like a period in your life where these were happening a lot. So, essentially, your life was just chaos for a while, and I feel that. I feel that. And there's just a lot of, it was just, and this is where I get the sense that this like Justice Reversed energy was coming in as well. Just overall a really unfair situation that you were dealing with that just kind of left you feeling lost and uncertain of where you should be going, uncertain of what you should be doing. So, things will be corrected here, okay? Things will be corrected here. Just, be patient, okay? While this balance, be patient as this balance is restored and these wrongs are righted. Yeah. Yeah. So, just be patient with this situation, okay? Be patient with this situation. Mm-hmm. And trust that things will be righted, okay? So, just don't be patient. Don't rush into anything right now. Don't make any rash decisions. Just be patient and keep holding on, okay? And let's see what the Oracle wants to add. Oh, goodness. Ooh. Transformation and warrior woman. Sorry, seeing those two cards together, there was just something that just came to me. Something that I didn't say before. So you know how before I talked about Bastet a while back? So there's more to that. Let me explain. So Bastet and Sekhmet are, they're very closely related, and there are some that also do believe that they're the same person, and that Sekhmet is the more ferocious version of Bastet when she's enraged. Okay? Sekhmet is known as, Sekhmet is known as being associated with divine justice. And she was a warrior. So, yeah. Okay. So, just want to put that out there. Oh, unfortunately, I just closed my queue just a few minutes ago. I'm sorry. But hello. After this reading, though, after these next two readings, I will be doing a final collective closing message, though, if you wish to stay around for that. Regardless, thank you for stopping by, though. Okay, transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Things are changing at a cellular level. You are not who you were a year ago, or who you will be soon. You are in between, emerging, half risen, half falling. Keep doing the work. You are transforming. You will look back at this time with awe. So much is happening in your inner world and within yourselves. It's time to release old ways of being that have kept you in fight, flight, freeze mode. To choose a new way of being where trauma is not the driving force. Old childhood patterns are rising up to be healed. As you allow yourself to observe them and feel them without attachment, they loosen their grip and fall away. You are being called to find new ways to self-soothe. Oh, it's this card. Saturn and the Black Madonna and the African goddess Oshun influence this card. Saturn represents destruction and transformation. Sekhmet's also associated with those things. The Black Madonna represents the underground and all that has been cast aside. Lady Isis is also known as a Black Madonna. And Oshun represents the tender love of the original mother. A rethreading is happening, healing at the deepest of levels. While you are in this phase, don't put yourself under pressure to perform. You may need to review your relationship with your body, perhaps even shifting your diet or exercise regime, or getting energetic healing support. You may also need to consider some kind of emotional support as issues from your childhood may come up to be healed. You are deeply loved. Yeah. And even if we can't always see it, like I said earlier, sometimes we're not the ones who notice that progress. Sometimes it's those close to us that actually see that we're actually starting to change. We're often the ones that don't notice our own progress. It's others who do. They notice things have shifted, things have changed. And warrior woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? You are here for a reason. You are being called to bravely pave a path. Have you answered your highest and deepest calling? Living a heart and soul-led life is not all fluffy and smooth sailing. Living a heart and soul-led life requires courage to triumph over fear. So often our fears are the gatekeepers to our greatest gifts. And the more resistance we have toward answering a call, the more important it is to our soul's growth. Sometimes fear is an indication that we are facing the right way. Joan of Arc was known for her courage and her famous line, "I'm not afraid, I was born to do this." But the thing about courage is that it is not possible without fear. So if you're feeling afraid, what is needed is courage. And courage comes from living from the heart. Think of your fears as opportunities to expand rather than things that are holding you hostage. If you look at your fears in this light, then as uncomfortable as it might feel, it's actually a sign that you are on the right track. So, again, this is something I said earlier. Sometimes when we're on this journey of healing, all these things start coming up, all these old feelings start coming up, and we worry that we're doing something wrong. We start encountering difficulties. We start struggling more than we were before. And we think that we're doing something wrong, or that we're going in the wrong direction, or that we're just going backwards. But here's the thing. As we dig deeper and we start uncovering more of these things, we're going to start facing more of those old emotions. The more those come up to the surface, the more we're going to feel weighed down by them. That means you're going in the right direction, not the wrong direction, okay? So don't be afraid of these things that you're experiencing. Don't be afraid of these emotions that are bubbling up to the surface, that you thought you were working through. They're coming up because you are processing them, okay? That's okay. It means you're going in the right direction. Okay, let's see what the Thera-pets deck wants to add. That was very quick. Oh. We have... It's all going to work out fine. You are capable. You can do this. And whatever you manage to do today will be enough. And I know that feeling if you feel like you're not doing enough, or you're not making enough progress, or you're not being productive enough. I know that can be really hard to, like, not feel that way. But you're still putting in work. Emotional labor is still labor. Work is still work. Okay? You are still making progress, even when you feel like you're not. Taking breaks doesn't mean that you're not making progress. Okay? You are doing enough, so don't be so hard on yourself. I know that feeling. That's a feeling that I deal with a lot. That's a feeling I deal with a lot. But that's something that Mr. Sass lovingly yells at me. That's something that Mr. Sass, like, lovingly yells at me about. And I don't mean actually yell. It's just scolding. Gently scolding. He's never been like, unnecessarily harsh with me, ever. He's always very, like, very gentle about things, and he doesn't come across that way with too many people. But if you allow him that space to do so, he can be quite gentle. Intense, but gentle. Yeah. And I know it's hard to deal with those feelings, but just try to push past them to the best of your abilities, okay? You're not a burden. The people that care for you, that support you, do it because they want to, not because they're forced into it, okay? They chose it. and they chose you. So I hope that message helps. Good. Also, I'm sorry, my queue is closed for the night. However, I will be closing out with a collective, shortly, if you do wish to stick around. Regardless of if you do or not, though, thank you for stopping by. Of course. Thank you for stopping by, Kelsey. Okay. Are you ready, who watches the watch? Okay. What message does who watches the watch need to hear today? Okay. Okay, there we go. Oh boy. Predator reversed. Predator reversed. Okay. Predator reversed. Predator reversed. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I just saw that notification. Kelsey, I'll get to that in a minute. I might be able to offer you some insight about that. Yeah, I can offer you some insight. Just let me get through this reading, okay? I have experience with that one, okay? Okay, so we have Death reversed. Temperance reversed. And the Magician. So, so there are some changes here, that are on the way. There's a transformation here that's on the way. However, it seems like you're experiencing delays here, in some capacity. Maybe you're just not where you want to be with that yet, and you're getting impatient about it. Perhaps even trying to rush things along. And here's the thing. We can't rush this progress, and if we try to rush this progress, that's often how we end up making mistakes and end up being back in the same situation that we were before. Because that's like building on a cracked foundation. Eventually that's going to crumble again, okay? So, we can't rush this progress. As much as we might want to, we can't rush it. We need to take our time with it. Just try to rush these changes. Don't try to rush this transformation in your life. And you might be doubting yourself because the magician did appear, it did pop out like sideways. So I do get the sense that there's also a little bit of that reversed energy being called on here as well. So, you might be experiencing some doubts about this. You might believe that, this isn't achievable for you. That this isn't something that you can do. But you can. You have what it takes, okay? This is something that you can create for yourself. What you're working towards here, whatever it is you're working towards here, this is something that you do have the ability to create for yourself. These changes will occur. Just remember to be patient as you're waiting for these things to happen for you, okay? Let's see what the Oracle deck wants to add. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Okay, I get the sense here that perhaps not necessarily that you're trying to rush it, but rather it seems like you might be worrying about it too much. And you're just kind of trying to push too hard towards it. Which is good that you want to continue trying to make progress, but we can't always be pushing forward, okay? Sometimes we need to take a break. Okay? You gotta take a break and play. And also, remember these things are not going to undo your progress, okay? They're not going to undo your progress. Taking the time to replenish yourself is one of the most productive things that you can do. Because once you actually feel called, you'll have the energy to start moving forward again, okay? So, take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. It's okay to take a break and enjoy your creations, to take a moment from your busy schedule, to get off the treadmill of life, to appreciate and acknowledge all that you have created, achieved, released, or experienced before rushing on to the next thing, to be in the moment and enjoy where you are, to take a breath and regather your mind, body, and spirit, to recalibrate, appreciate, and celebrate, to decide on what you really want to experience next. If you take a moment, you are not going to miss out. Perhaps you have just completed a big project, manifested something significant in your life, released an old way of being, or just been burning the candle at both ends. Now is the time to take some time out before rushing on to the next thing. You did it. Enjoy yourself and recalibrate. Go on vacation, book a massage, take long walks in nature, go away for a rejuvenating weekend to recharge and replenish. And play. Have fun, celebrate, and don't be so serious. Stop taking life so seriously. Your spirit needs to have some fun. The more you play, the more inspiration will follow. Take some time out to do something without being attached to the outcome. You are being called to rest and play, to learn to have more fun. Do something that makes you laugh, the best medicine around. Call up a friend that you can be silly with. Take your inner child on a date. The more you switch off your mind, the more room your spirit has to whisper and guide. When we do things without being attached to the outcome, ideas, clarity, guidance, and solutions have the space to drop in. The left and right hemispheres of the brain can begin talking to each other. Make play a compulsory part of your day. Schedule it. Spend more time doing things just because you love to do them, just because they bring you joy and light you up. If you follow what lights you up, you will light up the world without even trying. For when you are lit up, you are in your spirit, and when you are in your spirit, you fall into flow with life. How do you play? What do you do to have fun? What lights you up? If you've been working hard lately, it's time to celebrate how far you've come, all that you've achieved. Don't rush on to the next thing. Take a moment to throw a party, go on vacation, or have some fun. So, they're both telling you that you just need some time out for yourself to go have some fun. Okay? And it's a reminder not to rush on to the next thing, okay? Celebrate any progress that you have made, okay? Celebrate any progress you have made. And remember, it's okay to take time out, okay? It's not going to undo any of that progress, I promise. That progress will still be there, okay? And let's see what the Thera-pets wants to add. Ooh. Oh, we've been getting this one a lot lately. I think it's come out like 3 times. Okay, we have everything is scary and you feel vulnerable, but that doesn't mean anything is going to go wrong. Anxious feelings usually aren't indicative of reality. So if you're dealing with some anxiety, try not to let those get the best of you, okay? It's going to be okay. Yeah. And going very in line with this, let's just deal with today. You can deal with tomorrow. So take things one day at a time, one step at a time. Okay? Okay. So, I hope that message helps. And thank you for stopping by. And I'm glad. Okay. So before we get into this closing message here, let me go read that message again. Okay, so that floaty feeling happens to me all the time as I'm falling asleep. It also happens to me a lot when I'm awake. So, here's what this usually means for me. Yes. For me, that usually happens when I'm, that happens sometimes when I'm, like connecting a little bit more deeply to spirit. The way that I take it is that it's just kind of an influx, a sudden influx of energy, and kind of picking up on the energies around you. What you're sensing is likely guides. That happens to me all the time. Like, sometimes it's like such a fucking sudden shift that it kind of makes me a tad bit dizzy when I'm awake. Because it's not just Mr. Sass that's intense. There are a few of them around that are very intense, and they have quite a presence. That can happen with deities. Just saying. They do have a very intense presence. So, if you're feeling that, Kels, it's likely just you, connecting a little bit more, to your power. And you're beginning to sense the presence of guides around you, and the presence of just energies around you. And it can be a bit of a sudden shock, which kind of leads to that kind of floaty feeling that can sometimes kind of border on dizzy. Okay? That happens very frequently. That can happen very frequently when you're falling asleep. It happens to me very frequently when I'm falling asleep. Because here's the thing, and this is why it happens. So this is why it happens so frequently when you're falling asleep. Right before you fall asleep, you're kind of entering like a deep trance-like state. It's in that fucking phase there, in that phase, where you can most easily kind of connect with those sorts of energies. It's why like meditation and such is like so fucking important and so emphasized in mediumship. That's the sort of state you want to enter in to actually communicate with spirit in like a direct manner. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid if you start experiencing that, okay? As you're falling asleep, like right on the edge of like when you fall asleep. Okay? That's just you kind of connecting with things and picking up on things. I hope that makes sense. Okay. let's see what... Oh yeah, oopsie. My bad. There we go. Forgot to empty out the queue. Okay, let's see what message they want to close out with tonight. Oh, I'm sorry, my queue's closed for tonight. However, I am about to close out with a collective if you wish to stay around for that and see if there's a message for you in there. But regardless, thank you for stopping by. No, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Okay, what message do you want to close us out with tonight? Oof. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Okay. They apparently had a lot. We have the tower reversed. The chariot. Judgment. Followed by the Emperor. Yep. Just need to be pushed up a little more. There we go. Followed by the Emperor and the Empress. Okay, so immediately what this is kind of saying to me is don't let those past struggles and those past events that left you feeling very uncertain, very lost, that left you reeling just from the sheer chaos of it all. Don't let those influence how you move forward, okay? Just because you experienced something some way in the past doesn't mean that that's necessarily how you're going to experience it in the future, okay? It doesn't mean that things can't change. You're very, very close to something big here. Very close to completion of a cycle, of a chapter, of a rebirth. So let those things fall away and focus on moving forward. Okay? The past can't be changed, but you can influence how your future ends up. Okay? Your future can be different, even if it feels hopeless. It's important that, along with that, that you don't let any outside influence, any outside opinions influence how you live your life, okay? It is yours to live. No one can take that away from you. You can be on top of things, you can be in control. And as you're moving down this path, progressing down this path, don't forget to take care of yourself as well, okay? This change might take longer than you want it to, or longer than you expected it to. And you might start to doubt things. do your best not to get caught up in those feelings, to get caught up in that whirlwind again, okay? Care for yourself in the ways that you need to, and also let others who want to help you, who wish to care for you, who wish to support you, care for you as well, okay? Let's see what the Oracle wants to add. You saw that, right? You can see they just shot past the camera onto the floor. You can see the corner of one right there. Okay, well, 1 second. It also knocked down one of the cards here. How did I just notice that? Okay, 1 second. I need to go pick those up. Okay, well, I'm back. It took out the judgment card with it. Also, they apparently really wanted to get this message through. Protection. So, that's the card that flew. Okay, let's see if they have anything else. Hold on. Okay, there are a couple more cards here. Okay. We have protection. Pillar of light. And birthing a new age. Okay. Goodness. Protection. Call back your power. Cut the cords. Soul retrieval. You are being called to protect your energy and call back your power. May all the lost pieces return home now. Take a look at who and what drains your energy. Do not keep your tabs open. Shut down energetically each night. Energetic cords are formed between people, places, objects, and events, so it's important to keep checking in. Your energy and energetic space are sacred, so treat them as such. Keeping your energy clear takes work. As we go through life, we can give away our power.
So it is important that we call it back by cutting energetic cords or doing a form of healing known as soul retrieval. Can you think of a traumatic event, relationship, or soul memory that you were being called to call back your power from?
It's likely about this past event here.
So, check into your body now and see which chakra or energetic center feels like it needs a bit of an energetic cleanup. I prefer the term energetic center. Again, don't hold on to that past energy. Don't let this past situation influence how you move forward, okay? Leave it in the past. Just let it fall away. Which is fitting that it took out the Judgment card with it, because this is about a rebirth, about letting things that need to fall away, and closing a chapter of your life, okay? Don't hold on to that past energy. Let it go. Just let it go, okay? I really wanted to emphasize that. And then we have Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising, you are the Oracle. You are heaven and earth in perfect expression, a conduit for the light of the heavens to the earth. You are the rainbow bridge. Take time to meditate. Imagine yourself as a pillar of light connecting the light of the heavens above with the earth. As the light shines through each of your chakras, you activate the rainbow bridge that many ancient scriptures speak about, raising your vibration and raising the vibration of the planet, linking the higher realms of the cosmos, guides, angels, and spirit with the ancient wisdom keepers and beings of planet Earth. They dance together through you. They sing together through you. Without your body, voice, and creations, neither can be expressed. For too long, we've been taught that God is outside of us, giving away our power to angels and spirit guides. But without you, they do not have a voice. You are the Oracle. Do not look for guidance outside, for you hold all of the wisdom of the entire universe in the portal of your heart, in every cell of your body. Do not see the angels and guides as above you, for without you, they have no way of communicating. You are the Oracle. You are the rainbow bridge. You are the pillar of light. So, without a bunch of the New Age stuff in here, and this deck can kind of get this way a bit, essentially, this is going in line with the Emperor, okay? Is what I'm getting from this. Spirit is primarily there to guide you. However, you have free will, so they cannot make any decisions for you. They can't force you to do anything. Okay? So, you're in control. It's your life. Which is why it's important to go after what makes you happy. Is it something that makes you comfortable? Is it something that makes you happy? Don't let others' expectations, even Spirit's expectations, get in your way. Okay? They're just there to offer guidance and suggestions. You know what's best for you. So trust what you feel is best, okay? And birthing a new age. Birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Often our path is exactly the one that we don't feel prepared to walk. Walk it anyway. Often what is rising feels far bigger than we could possibly hold. Be a container for it anyway. Often our creations seem to have a wild, uncontrollable consciousness of their own. Birth them anyway. Often what is ours to do is the very thing that most intimidates us. Be courageous and do it anyway. We are birthing a new age. Right now we're in a transition period between ages, in the process of allowing the old cycle to fall away and the new to rise. Very fitting. Like driving in the fog and trusting the road will appear ahead, we need to release old identities in ways that no longer serve us, using our intuition as a compass. And this card for me definitely also has the energy of the High Priestess here, so. You are part of a group of souls who have been incarnating at significant periods of history, preparing for this exact time. Dreaming a new world into being. Magdalene sisters, daughters of Isis. Priestesses, witches, mystics, healers, seers, artists, midwives, visionaries, guardians of the earth, and storytellers from times past. It is time to give permission and space for what is beckoning within to be born. We are dreaming a new world into being. Again, this is going in line with allowing the old cycle to fall away so that this rebirth can occur and you can enter into a new cycle of your life here, okay? Follow what you feel is best, okay? Trust that you're being led in the right direction, and trust that Spirit is helping guide you in that right direction, okay? They can't force you to follow a certain path or to make any decisions. However, you can trust that they will never allow you to be lost. Okay? Or just go in the complete opposite direction. They will make sure that you're sticking to that path that you need to be on. And if you feel like you don't have what it takes to continue following this path, if you feel like it's not for you, it is. So keep going. And remember, you don't need anyone's permission to do what you want to do with your life, okay? No one. Let's see. What does the Thera-pets deck want to add? Okay. Okay. Let's see. What do we have here? Oh. Your speed doesn't matter. Forward is forward. You will rise above the ashes. You will find a way to become whole again. Very fitting there's a phoenix there and there's mention of rebirth. Also something I've talked about before. And about the symbolism that's there with that sense of rebirth that's present in like doing a burning ritual. So. And finally, you are enough. Today, tomorrow, always. Okay. So, I hope that message helps. Okay. With that, however, it is time for me to call it. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for sharing your time with me. Whether you joined the queue, talked in chat, or just lurked, I appreciate it. I hope to see you all again soon. But Bye for now. Hi, bye.